The revolution will be live.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dumb People vs. Movies, episode 37. This week, we're reviewing Black Panther. The latest MCU movie, directed by Ryan Coogler. And I feel like this was a pretty hype movie leading up to the release, so I guess we'll talk about if it lives up to the hype or not. But Blake, before that, do you want to bring up your news or whatever if you have one?
Blake news.
Well, I didn't really have one, but you sent us that news story that Black Panther made like 192 million opening this weekend, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That made that much money, far surpassing. I mean, tracking's kind of useless at this point.
Well, yeah. I mean, the latest tracking said 165 million opening weekend, which is crazy in itself. Because Thor made 120 million. That was considered a huge success. Wonder Woman made 100 million opening weekend, I think.
It's like 110.
Yeah, I think it was around there. But Wonder Woman had staying power for months. That's why it made so much money last year. And Black Panther will too, because the audience love it. It has a cinema score of A+. Rotten Tomatoes scores like at 95% or something, whatever it is right now. And so, but yeah, that money is 192 million. That's more than Age of Ultron made. That's more than Civil War made opening weekend. It's
crazy.
Easily the high. I think that's easily the highest individual solo Marvel film.
Yeah.
It didn't surpass Avengers?
No, it didn't.
Okay. Because that's the highest one, isn't it? The Avengers?
Avengers is the highest MCU, so I think this is the second highest MCU right now.
It's nuts.
That's so weird. They're saying because they're also counting the President's Day weekend. If you count the President's Day, which is tomorrow, it's gonna make over 200 million, like 212 or 23 or something. So, and I saw this tweet that said Black Panther's opening domestic box office is already gonna be Justice League total run.
Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
And if you told someone that like a year ago, they would think you're an idiot. So that's so weird. Like that kind of speaks to how poor DCU has handled it itself, but also it's super impressive that how good Black Panther was. And
DC, Marvel is just on a killing streak. They always have been, and they just, no matter if you think this is the best or it's one of the weaker of the MCUs, I think the only good or the really bad MCU film I just don't like really is the Incredible Hulk film. But all the other ones I'm just fine with. For the most part, people have been loving every one of these movies. So not that every one of them are perfect, but people still go out to see them. And money wise, yeah, it's Marvel's been succeeding on that for sure. So while DC, Wonder Woman made a big hit, but then Justice League came around and things just kind of went down from there. So they're kind of in a mess right now. And what's DC doing right now? Aquaman, is that this year?
Yeah, that's this year.
Okay.
Is that their only one this year? I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they pushed back all those other ones.
Yeah. Weren't they making a Flash film as well or something like that? And the Batman
They're making
movie.
Flash, Batman. There's that Sirens or whatever, Gotham Sirens that they were making.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad 2.
Yeah.
Joker movie.
Joker movie. Still no Man of Steel 2 though.
Yeah. See, I would actually want to see Man of Steel too.
Well, yeah, because that's like, in all honesty, that might be the best one.
Okay, no, Wonder Woman is.
No, Man of Steel is probably better.
No, Man of Steel is not better than Wonder
No.
Woman.
Yeah.
Man of
No.
Steel.
It's
When's the
I
last
like
time you
Man
saw
of
Man of
Steel,
Steel?
but it's
up for debate.
it's got its problems.
It's not up for debate.
It's up.
Yeah.
For
I don't
debate.
mind.
Yeah,
I actually don't mind Man of Steel though.
Yeah.
I don't mind
I
Man of
don't
Steel,
know.
but it's not better than Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman so far is the most well-made film in the DC universe, or the DCU, whatever you call it. But no, it's just Marvel's still gonna make money no matter what. So people go out and see these movies like every year, and it's just. And now we got Infinity War, and God knows how much money that's going to make. I mean, that's probably going to surpass Avengers.
I mean, just look at this. Like in May and July, Disney has Infinity War, the Han Solo movie, and Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out in like 3 weeks of each other.
Wait,
That's insane.
what was that? You said 3 movies. What were they?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Infinity War, Ant-Man, and the Han Solo story.
Oh,
Or Solo.
Yeah,
they're
that's
all
right.
going to be successful.
That's not 3 weeks. Isn't Ant-Man end of July or something?
No, it's beginning of July. It's like July 6th.
Yeah.
Well,
Infinity War is like
is
early May. Yeah, it's early May, and then Star Wars story is like 23, something like that. So it's like all coming out within a month.
I mean,
Gonna be
We'll
I guess
see.
now,
money.
now we just need to wait for Disney to buy DC.
no, God, ugh, that would be terrible.
I mean, they wouldn't combine the universes.
Actually, I'd rather have that than them do it separately.
Wait, what? No,
Marvel
that'd be terrible.
versus DC movies.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
That'd
man,
be
That would be
terrible.
cool.
that'd be
Oh,
awesome
it'll be cool. It'll be cool.
to see Batman kill Iron Man, Superman destroy everyone, literally. Actually, they could literally just do Superman versus the MCU, and Superman would still win. So.
That's just my problem now that I think about it. I mean, I'm not even hating against DC. I love Batman. I love all that stuff. But it's like with Superman, I love Superman. I think he's awesome. But it's almost like he could do anything. He can't be killed. He can't be beaten. And it's just like, where's the, conflict within the character? He's just perfect. You know what I'm saying? And I get that's the point of his character, but
Yeah.
at the same time, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
I
just
mean,
something
that's
someone
a
brought
lot of
up
people's.
that I read on like this thread or whatever. So I was just like,
That's
oh,
a lot
a
of
good
that's a
one.
lot of people's problem with
His
Superman.
conflict is usually just Lois is in danger.
No,
or
what?
the
No,
ci-
that's
or
not
the-
usually
or
his
the-
conflict.
Or the city's in danger. Yeah, it is.
Wait, so now you're like roasting Now you're roasting Superman, but you love Man of Steel more than Wonder Woman, really?
Well, as a movie, I didn't like Wonder Woman that much.
Are you kidding me?
Why don't you like? Okay, you never did the review, so we never really fully got your thoughts on that. But I
The
guess it's-
ending is really bad.
well, yeah, we all said
So
that.
is the Man of Steel. I mean, it's just
No,
another.
Man of
Man of
Steel
Steel
ending
is
is-
not bad.
Not like
It's
Man of
not
Steel ending
bad,
is-
but it's just another CGI fest battle. So
Actually, you know what? I kind of like the Man of Steel ending because I know a lot of people don't like the
there
fight
was
style.
emotional weight to it. Yeah.
Well, no, not that. I like the fight style because it reminds me of like. I think that's the closest we
way
can
more
get to
like animated.
like
Yeah,
if we got
it's
like a
very
Dragon
animated.
Ball. If we got like a Dragon Ball movie, that's the closest they could get
It's
to like
true.
fight scenes like that.
Yeah.
Where when like Zod and Superman are punching each other and they're flying like 200 feet. That's what like a Dragon Ball movie. That's what
And
a
the
proper
punches
Dragon
are
Ball
so
movie.
loud. And
Yeah.
The punches are so in your face. It's awesome.
It is cool, but
But I like that's
Let's
actually
see
Man of Steel
Chad.
ending is actually the Man of Steel fight scenes are some of my favorite. That's pretty. I guess that's controversial, but especially because like it's real life, right? They're destroying real buildings and real people are dying, and people actually hated that. But I don't know. I kind of enjoy that part.
I did like how BVS kind of addressed that, you know, and I like how they made Superman's character in Man of Steel. That's why I liked him better in that film, because at least, like I was saying, they make Man of Steel perfect, but at least there's like emotional conflict going on with Superman his actions. You know, he realized that his actions cause consequence, and he kind of realizes that. And of course, at the end of that film, again, another big CGI, big fest monster battle, but at least he like took the ultimate sacrifice, blah blah blah. So it's like,
Well, people.
at least I appreciate what they're trying to do there. So,
Well, people forget. Man of Steel came out, I think, a year after Dark Knight Rises. So everyone was like, still thinking about Nolan's trilogy and how Nolan took Batman to like a dark place and whatever.
yeah.
So Man of Steel is kind of like the Superman version of the Dark Knight, and yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, obviously they got a super inferior director to do it, but it's kind of going that same route. Like, what if Superman had to deal with human? Like, it's not just a happy version of Superman; it's more of a dark turn. It's
really
like more of a
is.
darker version.
That's
Which,
why
I mean,
like
I guess
that.
I understand people's complaints when they say like that's not Superman, but I kind of enjoy that aspect of it.
I kind of
'Cause I'm
like
not
this
super-
Superman the best. This is probably my favorite adaptation of Superman. Was in the Man of Steel and BVS films.
Well, a lot of people grew up with the cornball like super,
Yeah.
like the Superman movies from like the 70s or whatever that people think are amazing.
That's what
But
I've been realizing with like almost anything. People get too attached to things, and whenever something changes or goes in a different direction, it's hard for them to even accept it. And it's like
yeah,
you know, we at some point you just gotta embrace it and just
well, I mean, sometimes they're right. Like
Yeah.
with this Han Solo movie,
oh,
we don't need that, no one-
I get that. Well, it's just an unnecessary.
yeah, I get it.
film, but I mean, who knows? It might be okay, but we'll see.
But Wonder Woman is still, back to the original point. Wonder Woman is still the best DC movie.
Yeah. Plus, the
By a
action
decent margin.
sequences are really awesome in that film. I thought,
Yeah,
in my opinion. So
but Black Panther, money. They made money.
yeah,
I don't know
A
how
lot.
they even got out of that.
A lot
it's
of money.
crazy. I think because it was pretty much like 98% like African cast. I think like a black cast. So it was like, so I guess that drew a lot of the black folks' attention to the film. So they went out and see this movie because, and I find that
Yeah.
pretty awesome. So
Yeah, I was reading that. I was reading that 37% of the audience that came to see this was black. So, I mean, it just shows that people actually care when they're represented on screen.
yeah,
And it's kind of crazy to me, like the main argument for why you don't see big budget movies that are led by African Americans or other races or even women is because they always say people won't come and watch them. But I mean, last year Wonder Woman was the highest grossing domestic movie of the year, and then Black Panther is already the second highest opening weekend for the MCU. So
yeah.
I'm happy to see it doing it so well because I think representation does matter in movies.
Yeah. And for Marvel, which I was going to lead to a pun there. Never mind. But the Captain Marvel film will become. Is that this year or is that next year?
I think that's next year.
Okay. Yeah, and
There's
that'll
no way
be
they
a
would have-
focused female,
Yeah,
cast. So
yeah.
that it'll
That one I'm kinda
it'll
hesitant
be
on,
like
I don't
Wonder
know.
Woman, I think, in that sense.
I don't know. I don't. We'll see. I'm kind of hesitant on that one. See how good that'll be.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It'll be decent at the very least. Marvel, Marvel's on a.
I mean,
on
you
a
could always
Now-
count on the MCU to be decent.
Now, if DC continues with their stuff, they can actually do the John Stewart or whatever his name is, the Green Lantern, instead of Hal whatever his name is, the white guy.
Yeah, Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan, he's worse. John Stewart's
That's
way
DC
better.
though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said if they keep on
okay.
going.
Well, the rumor. I mean, the rumor was they wanted to do the Green Lantern Corps, which would be both of them probably. It'd probably be more of a space movie like Guardians or something, where they have like the pig guy and the other like from the other sectors or whatever. I don't know. I could see that working, but we'll see.
But they don't even have a good core Justice League. How can they worry about
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly just want them to start over.
Yeah.
It's sad though. Like See, this is the problem with the DC. Their casting is pretty good.
Yeah.
We still haven't like everyone. I mean, for the most part, people are excited for Aquaman because they don't know what that could be like. Wonder Woman, no matter what Richie thinks, is a good movie. So if they just started over, you'd lose those aspects. The DCU.
Well, because
Like,
they got Henry Cavill as a perfect Superman, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He looks
he's
just
the
like
best.
him. Jason Momoa's a really great Aquaman. Gal Gadot is a perfect Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck's fine, but he wouldn't be there if they restarted anyway.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
just
Jake Gyllenhaal
recast
for Batman.
Batman.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But no, but yeah, like I don't know. That's the problem the DCU has right now. Like if people just hated all the movies, then they would have obviously started over by now. But there's like, can you imagine like people getting so mad if they just restarted and they didn't get a Wonder Woman 2? Like they just restarted Wonder Woman and didn't give Patty Jenkins a chance or something.
Yeah, they're already working on Wonder Woman 2, and it'll be like basically turn to Cold War or something like that, which will be pretty cool, I think, in my opinion. But
at the same time, they're making like Suicide Squad 2 is going to start filming this year.
Ugh.
They're making, I don't know, like that Birds of Prey movie or something. I don't know.
Gotham City Sirens or something like
They
that.
don't have any focus. They're just throwing stuff at the wall. Marvel had 5 years like to develop their universe before Avengers.
What they should have done was start with Man of Steel like they did, and did Man of Steel 2 like Iron Man did, because it was like Iron Man then Iron Man 2 or something like that.
Yeah, they should
They
focus
just
around
should have
one
focused
or two
around
people.
Superman.
Yeah.
And then
Or
they could have
Batman.
done Batman and then Wonder Woman also.
Yeah.
And
Like that
then
would have been
go
a perfect way to
to
start it.
Batman
But Batman,
v Superman.
Batman v Superman ruined the whole thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just ham-fisted in Batman.
They just jumped
But that's
right to that, and then
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
They know this. They know this now.
They're just selling
But
out,
I-
basically.
But what I preluded to earlier is they know all this now, but they can't start over at this point.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
They knew
can't
it
start
then.
over.
There had to
But
be
they thought.
actual creative people telling them making Batman v Superman as our universe builder is a bad idea.
But do you think the creative people are the ones in charge?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. They still knew. There's the entire organization there.
Yeah, but the studio head still thought like, oh, it doesn't matter. Batman v Superman doesn't have to be good. People will come watch it because it has Batman and Superman in the title.
No,
It's a-
after you've sold out, you can't go back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh well.
DC.
This week we're talking about an MCU movie, not a DC movie. I
Thank
feel like
God.
though it is hard not to talk about one without mentioning the other though, especially when you're talking about box office success and stuff like that. So
Actually, who is-
Let's talk
who
about
is
X-Men
Black
now.
Panther's DC equivalent.
I don't know. I don't know. Who is it?
Someone
I don't
who's
know.
just strong and fast.
Anyone think of that?
Wait, what was the question?
What is DC's Black Panther equivalent?
Does the Justice League have just like an
Batman.
all-rounder? But
It is, it's
kinda
similar to
Batman.
that.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's kind
Batman.
of
yeah.
Batman.
but you could say that about Iron Man too. So
I mean, like maybe Green Arrow.
no.
Nah.
I mean, he doesn't have the
Backbone
like
is
the
way different.
unfinishable suit.
Green
And
Arrow is
Batman.
Hawkeye.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. I think we can just.
Wait,
I
we
want to
actually-
go ahead and start about. Okay. What?
Sorry, I brought up X-Men as a joke, but they actually have like the X-Men Mutants coming out this year. I think it comes out next month, right?
Oh, gosh.
Is that
No,
the
they
horror
moved it
movie?
back.
They moved it back. Yeah, that's a horror movie that looks actually pretty good.
Oh,
Well, they
that
mo-
one.
they
yeah,
mo-
yeah. That
They
looks
moved
good.
it back. So the rumor was they are going to do reshoots because after that trailer came out, everyone's like, "Oh, this is actually kind of cool because it looks scary." But apparently, it wasn't that scary. So the rumor is they pushed it back to the reshoots to make it more scary.
Hey, I'm all for it. And
Well, I
then
mean-
the next X-Men movie is like next year, I think.
Dark
If-
Phoenix.
if-
But there's also
If Fox
Deadpool
is
2 this year.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Deadpool 2. That comes out in May also.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
I'm so hyped for that.
May's
Space
gonna be a
Stacks.
weird month.
Summer is gonna be packed.
There's a decent chance that between Infinity War, Deadpool 2, and the Han Solo movie, that the Star Wars movie will make the least amount of money,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird.
Old
For a
people
Star Wars
won't
fan.
want to watch it because there's no Harrison Ford.
I just don't understand why Disney's doing that, because they're giving Infinity War like 2 weeks on the market, but then bringing Star Wars in. I bet
Yeah.
I would almost bet that Infinity War might make more the third week.
I was
From
just
Star
hoping
Wars.
they
No.
pushed
Whoa,
the
no way.
solo movie
No
till
way.
December.
Maybe.
Honestly. But
No, they're not going to.
no,
They,
I
they
think the
wanted
reason
to have a
going.
summer run.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going for like the Wonder Woman thing. What Wonder Woman did so well is it came out at the beginning of summer, but it just stayed all summer and it made money consistently. Like, they probably don't care as much about box office opening as maybe other people's consider. But who knows? I don't know. It is weird that both of them are going to be running at the same time, and Ant-Man too.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Ant-Man's July. I was skipping June, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
But
think
still,
They'll
it's
all
within,
be-
it's
they'll still all
within, it's
be in
within
the
like,
theaters.
yeah, they should all still be in the theaters by around then.
Yeah.
And Deadpool.
Are you guys ready to talk about Black Panther?
Yep.
Okay, Black Panther.
Don't freeze.
I never freeze. The revolution will not be televised.
Show me my respect and bow down. We own ya. We own ya. We only getting started now. Cause we own ya. Everybody think they know me now. Cause we own ya. You and I'm a homie now. Cause we own ya.
I waited my entire life for this. The world's gonna start over. I'ma burn it all.
What happens now determines what happens to the rest of the world.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. WOKANDA forever! The revolution will not be televised.
Let's have some fun.
What'd you guys think? Who wants to talk about it?
I thought Avatar lived up to the hype.
The Phantom Menace was amazing.
Okay, Richie, you need to reference your joke because people.
Okay, it's Parks and Rec. Andy Samberg.
Oh yeah, I think Avatar exceeded the hype. Whoa. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
No, okay. But actually, I thought it was pretty good, and that considering how much hype it did have, that it was a pretty solid movie throughout. Even though I don't think it had any moments where it was like amazing. Not
Ooh,
that
I don't know about that, but
I don't know.
I think for the most part, I agree. I'll go real quick. The hype for this movie. The trailers were incredible, and I don't know. Just excited. The cast is really good. It's just everything about this movie leading up. The director, of course, they actually got a director that has a vision. You know, not just a yes man or whatever, like a Ron Howard or someone. No, I'm just kidding. But but yeah, so the hype leading up to this movie, and I think it lives up to the hype to a degree, and I think it lives up to the hype in terms of if you were excited about this movie and you like Black Panther as a character a lot, then you'll like this movie. But I think it's almost like there's a Black Panther part of this movie that feels special, and then there's a Marvel part of this movie that just feels Marvel-y. And it's like they're fighting with each other throughout the movie. And the Black Panther stuff is really good, and the Marvel-y part is just, just a Marvel movie at that point. So
100% agree with that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I just
think-
wish they went more unique, and I think I just wish they stayed more to the Black Panther stuff than they did just with the Marvel stuff,
Yeah.
Especially with what I was saying earlier. I forgot I was telling this too, but I was saying I liked everything in Africa.
Wakanda was
I like
amazing.
it. I think the I think the best example of this, of what I'm trying to say, is if you pay attention to the music throughout the movie, all the stuff that sounds like special to, like unique to the movie itself, like the drum beating or like the tribal music and stuff like that. That music is really good. But then there's moments where, like during certain fight scenes and stuff, it just a bland soundtrack.
It's
just
your typical
like
Marvel
typical
thing.
action music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like action music or something like that, and it just kind of took me out of it almost to a degree. It's like, oh, we just got this this special music we haven't heard in any of the other movies or any action movie in general, and then it just goes back to this like back and forth. It feels weird to me.
Yeah, I would say like it's like the movie gets more and more like that like as we go along. Like the climax is like super like generic actiony kind of, but I'd say my favorite scenes are the ones like towards the beginning where like was that Claw,
yeah.
Claw. Okay, I'd say his scenes were really good, and he was actually someone interesting as a villain, as like the first.
I think
one.
Andy Serkis is not just good as a CG actor. He's actually good as a real life actor too.
No, I knew that too. Like I knew he's just a great actor all around.
Yeah.
And this movie definitely proved that, which I loved, because.
And
like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know if he's a great villain. I just think he's really entertaining to watch when he's on screen.
Yeah, I don't think he can be like a main villain, but he works pretty well as a side one.
His laughing is just. I love his laugh.
Yeah.
He's insane.
Yes. Oh my
But
gosh,
I think
Especially like the chase scene is really good.
it was really.
yeah,
good.
that's what I was gonna say. I mean, we can talk about that scene in spoilers, but there is a certain chase scene, like are you talking about the cars and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's if you're gonna point to an amazing moment in the movie or something like that, that's the one I keep going to in my head because I really enjoyed that scene, and I think it's shot differently too because I was listening to some other podcasts they were reviewing it, and they were talking about how it's not, but it looks like kind of like one take or what when they're following him when he's on the car and they're following him. It's not just a bunch of cuts or like quick cuts, but it's like it kind of feels like one take. So I thought that was interesting because you don't see that a lot.
Yeah, I have
It's
pretty
kind of
good
like the John
fall.
Wick version of action.
Yeah, I like the whole casino sequence too. That's what I
Yeah.
keep coming to, and which then leads to the car chase scene.
Yeah,
yeah,
leads to
that
that,
entire
yeah.
sequence, was definitely my favorite part of the film. So, and I would say another in terms of favorites are like.
Wait, hold on.
like-
Don't give away. We probably shouldn't even talk about that, but don't give away any scenes yet. We can wait.
It's not really spoilers.
Oh, okay,
Unless
you can go.
It's the like the ritual thing with like
Oh,
fights,
yeah.
duel, whatever. Like in the beginning, then towards the end of the film, but that's spoilers. I won't get to that. But I really like that. Just that, like you're saying, like when it came to like the unique stuff or the Wakanda sequences, that's where it really took a Marvel movie into like. It felt so fresh to me, and I loved that. That's the one thing about this movie is that it felt so different compared to like most Marvel films. And like you said, it did kind of go back to some of the more generic Marvel moments, which did throw me off a bit. But overall, it was still really fresh in my mind, and I really like how it's not just throughout the entire film your typical Marvel formula. It almost felt like a different kind of film.
Yeah.
After watching it, and I liked it.
I would disagree. I think it's completely a typical Marvel film.
Nah.
I think it
I don't know.
Compared to
is. I
Spider-Man
think it is.
Homecoming,
No.
or compared to like.
Like when I think of typical Marvel movie, I always think of Ant-Man. That's the
or
one to me.
Ant-Man,
Is like
yeah.
this was literally just made in a Marvel factory and they put it out there. Like
Ant-Man or Iron Man 2.
But there's like it's not
this
an
one
Ant-Man,
has more.
but-
This one has more feeling behind it, but it has all the Marvel beats that they always hit.
No, I don't
they have to
disagree.
hit.
That's what I'm saying. Most of the plot
Wakanda
feels
is
like
nothing like a Marvel.
No.
The
Marvel
what?
setting.
That's what I was saying.
that's
It's
what's-
those scenes
yeah.
that really felt fresh.
Like-
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, all the political stuff in this movie is actually I found it really good, and I think like the motivations behind the main villain, Michael B. Jordan. You don't get that in a typical Marvel movie. Like all the stuff he's fighting for, like you actually feel emotion for what he's doing. You don't get that in a typical Marvel movie, or just like I don't know, the unique aspects of this, like how Black Panther's like security is all female and they're actually like really cool. Like like stuff like that you don't get in like an Ant-Man. You know,
those bald female like warrior guards or whatever,
Yeah.
protectors,
Her main-
they're so cool. They're pretty
She's-
awesome.
What's the name? What's her name? Does anyone remember her name?
Oh, her name. Gosh, I forgot. But no, she's probably one of my favorite characters in that movie, if not my favorite. And speaking of characters, like, did we mention the villain yet?
Killmonger.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned
Yeah.
a little bit.
He's, oh my gosh, we actually got a villain with like good motivations. Like compared to like as much as I love Thor Ragnarok, the villain was just she was awesome, but her motivations were she's just a typical I'm a baddie and I'm going to conquer and destroy everything, blah blah blah.
I actually thought her motivations were pretty good in Thor Ragnarok, but
It was still kind of like the same kind of Marvel-esque.
Yeah.
It was just revenge. Pretty much.
Here, in
this
Black
one,
Panther,
this one is also just revenge though. He just has, I mean, I guess it's kind of a good reason, but it's also whenever you think about it
think
harder, it's kind of stupid. But
I don't think it's stupid. I think I like that
It's
reason.
not entirely
'Cause, like-
revenge because he also wants to take over. I mean, he also wants to become king.
Yeah, you could
And-
see his reasonings and his like viewpoints.
Because his
Like,
reasonings
Yeah,
his reasonings actually have some, even if it is kind of selfish, or like the way he goes about it is
yeah.
evil, obviously, but you can see like he's actually trying to, from his point of view, better the world, or at least better like what he's like, the underprivileged parts of the US or the world, because he like from his point of view, you can actually see he's actually trying to make the world a better place to some degree.
yeah. Even though you don't
I
have
mean-
to agree with it, you can see why. Like,
Yeah,
he
I mean,
thinks
Hela-
that.
Hell is just, it's like a revenge, trying to take over or get revenge on whatever. What's his name? Odin's.
Yeah, even though she was pretty cool, but
I like Hela too, and I think.
well, the last three Marvel movies have pretty good villains because Michael Shannon was good in Spider-Man too.
oh yeah, he was.
That's
cool.
Vulture,
not Michael
Vulture
Shannon.
was pretty good too.
Michael
Was it not
Keaton.
Michael Shannon?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton,
Michael
yeah,
Keaton,
Michael
yeah.
Keaton. There we go.
I was like,
Wrong,
Michael
wrong
Shannon.
Michael. Wrong
Yeah.
Wrong
Michael.
movie.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I agree. Yeah, so these last three films been having much better villains this time around.
Stepping up their villains,
Yeah, good
They
job,
are.
Marvel.
And I think
which is
part of
something
it is,
they've been trying to do.
I think part of it's Michael B. Jordan just so good or so charismatic as an actor.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard not to like him.
Well, he's a
even-
great actor, so
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely is.
I
And
love
I
him.
love how it's not your typical I'm going to get in this, I'm going to use this death device weapon or Ironmonger kind of Iron Man thing at the end of the film. So, and I love how he it's not like, oh, I'm just going to destroy everything. It's more like, I want to rule Wakanda. And, oh wait, we're getting into spoilers, are we? Oh god.
Yeah, you can just hold off for a second.
Yeah,
So,
we'll get to that later. Okay.
yeah, so overall, I think at the very least, all of us would say definitely watch this movie, right?
yeah.
It's entertaining. It's really fun. I say go watch it.
It is a fun movie.
Yeah, you'll get
Just-
some good things out of it.
Just be prepared for if you don't really like Marvel humor. There's a lot of Marvel humor in this movie.
There is.
That
There's too
kind of
much-
ruins some scenes for me personally.
I mean, compared to
But-
Thor, though, Thor had it.
Thor
everywhere.
was straight
How
because
dare
that's
you.
what they
But
were
at
going
least,
for. They
yeah,
were going
but
for
at
straight
least they
comedy.
understood what it was. Yeah, that's true. But here,
This
But
one
Ragnarok's-
is this one's just the normal Marvel humor that you get in all their movies.
but it felt like they're in the right place, though, in my opinion.
Well,
I
I
felt
think
like
the
they
I
were-
don't know.
It wasn't like
difference
Age
is,
of Ultron. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Well,
like
the
that.
difference is, like, I think Richie's the one who said this in our Ragnarok review. I think he said he used the phrase, like, most Marvel movies feel like they have focus group humor or boardroom humor or
Oh
something
yeah,
like that.
definitely, yeah.
There's definitely a lot of jokes or a decent amount of focus group humor in this one, Whereas Ragnarok, it doesn't feel like that. You know, it feels like better than that.
Yeah,
It's very much.
But at least that's what the movie is, and I understood
It's very
what
much.
it was.
It's very much Taiki Waititi's style of humor.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, which I love.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
but,
like that.
I mean, comedy is subjective though, so some people love the Marvel comedy, as seen in our theater.
Well,
that,
I've seen.
that "What are those" joke is like so bad.
Okay, that
Yeah,
was
that was
the
really
only
bad.
one I did not like
No.
because
No,
it
there
was
was-
so.
there was-
There's other bad ones.
Nah.
There's other bad ones, and
There
like
were some that like ruined scenes that would have been.
what are those joke is like what? Like is this like
Yeah, it's bad.
is some like
Sneakers one was
12-year-old
really
fine
bad.
kid make this or something? But like even the sneaker joke is actually kind of funny, but it still feels like a Marvel joke. Like I'm not saying
Yeah.
all Marvel humor is bad, but
Yeah.
you can tell Marvel humor when it's Marvel humor. You know?
Yeah. Because it's family friendly. There's no edge. It's just like a pillow.
Family friendly humor.
If a good joke is a knife, then it's like throwing a pillow at you.
Danny
Okay.
would say Spielberg
that's
would be
not
a
true.
perfect Marvel director.
It'd be like it's like
It can still be funny.
no. It's like if a good joke is like a throwing knife, it'd be like throwing a butter knife. Like yeah, obviously a butter knife can actually hurt you sometimes, but
Yeah,
for the most
okay.
part, it's kind of just it's kind of just not to do really anything.
Yeah.
Butter knife humor. That's
Butter
a good
knife.
phrase.
No, I was okay with the humor. It didn't really bother me too much. But like,
Okay. I think we should go to spoilers. Make sure you get the time, Weston, so you can put this in the notes.
okay.
So spoilers for Black Panther. I like how the opening kind of is almost like Thor has an opening similar to this, right? Where it's kind of like the claymation or something like that. Is it Thor? Wonder Woman definitely has one. I know that. Where they're
Thor
going through
has
the-
one whenever Helen's introduced,
Okay.
because it has the Valkyries flying at her and she's throwing those knives or whatever
Yeah.
at all the Valkyries.
yeah.
Wonder Woman has one that's very similar though, with the clay kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're showing the past of everything, of how everything got to this point. But I still like it. I enjoy that kind of, because they're not. It's not like a. It's. I don't know. It just feels. I like it. I don't know why.
Because it's look good. It look good. It looks good.
It does look good.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So that's how we kind of start. Where oh no, actually we start in Oakland, right? And we're seeing.
Yeah. Basketball.
They're
yeah.
playing basketball or whatever, and then we see. Well,
His
we
dad.
learn Michael B. Jordan's dad. Killmonger's dad or whatever, and that we see this we see a 2 point of view part too, right? Like from the first point of view, you take his side, you take T'Challa's dad's side, and then later on in the movie, you kind of take Killmonger's side. So
Yeah.
yeah,
This movie
I mean that's a good
actually
scene,
had
I guess.
quite some twists, so which I actually liked.
And then we go to the opening Black Panther action scene where he's in the ship or whatever, and he's gonna go stop the cars.
Yeah.
You see that in the trailers, I
Kind of
think.
like a stealth kind of mission thing. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
The one-liner, "I never freeze."
I never freeze or whatever. I don't know. I can't do it.
That wasn't bad, actually. That was pretty good.
No. Wakanda.
But-
No. Oh my god.
You guys have anything to add? You guys enjoy this first act?
Yeah. Okay, may I just say this though? I watched
No.
this movie alone. And oh my gosh, I could not handle. I had to put up with 2 stupid kids in the back, and they will not shut up, and they keep trying to do the accents like Wakanda, blah blah blah. I'm like, would you shut up? Like, oh my, it ruined the entire experience for me. I mean, I still like the film, I still enjoyed it, but if those kids happen to be watching this video right now, all I have to say is that never mind. We're gonna probably have to bleep this video, but nah, I'm not gonna cuss out. But my God, they ruined the entire experience for me. But I can't get it out of my head now.
We gotta
Them,
use pillow humor,
impersonating the
Weston.
African accents over and over
Well-
and over. It's like, oh my gosh, would you stop? Like,
Well, from what Weston told me, Weston actually turned around and told them to be quiet. Didn't
yeah,
you?
I did. One time because they will not shut the hell up throughout this entire movie, and I turned around I'm like, "Can you guys be quiet, please?" And they didn't listen because no one else will tell these kids to shut up. And I almost explode in the theater. I literally was going to say, "Shut the you know what up." Like, they were the worst, man. Like, anyways, I had to get that out of my chest. It was that's the one thing I hate about seeing this film is dealing with those little a-holes. So, yeah, okay, I'm good now. Anyways, what were we talking about?
I was gonna say, what do you guys think about the first act or the setup?
I actually liked the first half of this film. Actually, I thought it was really cool, and then like sending up. There's definitely like world building in here. You could tell like with Wakanda, but I liked that, and I thought it was really cool. This film, actually, now thinking about it, is almost kind of like Thor in a sense. They try to like world build like Asgard / Wakanda in a sense, and almost the film is almost like the reverse version of Thor, because Thor, he's naive and arrogant, and the father's the man who's right, trying to, but it's actually the other way around, where Black Panther is actually more noble as like the heir to the throne, and he admits that he isn't ready, unlike Thor, and rather the king in this one is the one doing the wrong. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like flip-flopped, but I think it's
a good point.
I think it's done better though, but that's just what I think.
It's a good observation.
Yeah, I was just thinking that watching this entire film. I'm like, huh. So there's definitely parallels to Thor, I thought, while watching this movie. So, but no, yeah, I like the first act. Yeah, to answer your question. So.
I don't know, do either of you guys have anything to say? I feel like just going act by act is kind of boring. So if you guys want to just point out what you didn't like or liked about certain scenes or whatever, we should just do that.
Well, I mean, I think Killmonger's first scene in the first act is really good because it shows how he's really smart, and he's got a crew with him that's really smart too.
Oh, there's a.
I wish that scene was longer, to be honest.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Like really
it was really good.
And
what does he say? He says something. He just straight up tells her like he's gonna steal it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna take this.
She's like, this is not for sale. He's like, no, I'm just gonna take it or something like that.
Yeah.
It's really funny. That one I actually like.
He was like, was it for sale when the
he's like,
when
what's
you
it
guys
for sale
took
when the
it?
British stole it back the British stole it back then or something? And she's like, what? No.
I'm triggered. Sorry.
And I like how Andy Serkis lets the guy go. Like he thinks like
It's like, oh, Eddie just
he
shoots
thinks
him.
he's the guy. Yeah,
We gotta make it look like we're amateurs,
yeah.
which is actually pretty smart.
Yeah,
But
that was smart.
And a side note, I really like that jacket that Killmonger's wearing in that scene too. It's a good, it's a good jacket.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I wish that there was more of Kendrick's songs in here. I was disappointed by the soundtrack.
Yeah, I wish they had the actual soundtrack.
Well, yeah, because the Black Panther soundtrack is really
inspired by
good.
album.
Yeah, the Inspired by album, and then this one they play "Pray for Me," but they don't play Kendrick's verse in that casino scene, and they play "All of the Stars," I think, at the end of the credits. But I don't remember how many. I don't know how often they play the other songs. I don't even know if
they play ops, I think.
It's just like beats.
But it's like
just
really
basically
background. Yeah, it's pretty much just the beat.
Beats.
I do like the African
And then there's bad.
tribal kind of songs.
That's true. I like that
They're
stuff.
That,
See,
that,
that's
that was really cool.
But then there's
like the
also
drum,
just like
the
bad
drumming.
normal music,
Yeah.
Yeah,
like at Marvel
that's what I said at the
music.
beginning. That's a perfect example of the conflict this movie has, because I don't know, the plot feels kind of like what is it? There's like, I like Killmonger's motivation, but the whole idea of him just like taking over as king and defeating the old king and trying to take over and run things different,
I like
that part just feels kind of, I don't know, it just feels kind of not unique.
I thought
I'm not
it was
saying it's
unique
bad, it
compared
feels
to
not
like your
unique.
typical, oh, I'm a villain and I'm going to destroy everything, rather than
No,
I
I
want to
get
be a
kinda
ruler
did.
because I think I'm going to
No.
make the right decisions and I'm going to rule as a better king. It's
Yeah, I
almost
like
like a
his motivations.
Shakespearean kind of thing, like
Well,
killing
yeah,
the
I like
king
his-
and him taking over.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting being put in a Marvel
No,
film.
I like
I've never
his.
seen that
I'm not
before.
saying I like his motivations and I like what he wants to do with it, but the whole aspect of getting there, just like, oh, there's an old king and the villain wants to take over the new king and reign as powerful as the new king or whatever. It just feels
And
kind of
also, while it is like it's kind of like a more personal villain. It's still kind of the same world domination thing that you see from like Captain America and Red Skull. Because he literally says in the movie that he wants world domination as with Wakanda in the
He
center.
did say that.
So
Yeah.
it's
and
kind
what else?
of the same thing, but
The concept's the same. I
and
just think
it's
it's
very
done a little bit better.
And it's super predictable how he gets there, like because they
Yeah.
set up the first scene where Black Panther beats that other guy to become king.
yeah.
And then later on, he's like before the fight even starts. The fight is cool. I like watching
Yeah,
the
the
fight
fight's
action.
good.
But
Those fights were awesome.
he's gonna lose. Like it's so obvious he's not gonna die. I mean, if you have a gripe with the MCU, I mean, the Infinity War trailer is out. Everyone's seen it. Black Panther's in the trailer, so there's 0% chance he's gonna die. So why even go for the fake out death? Like, it just. I mean, it doesn't. It just. I mean, it doesn't work. You know,
And
I mean, like.
That scene specifically, I think is a great fight scene. I think that might be my favorite fight scene in the movie, just because of all the motion behind it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it also is extremely reminiscent of The Dark Knight Rises. Whenever Bane breaks Batman's back, it's literally
Okay,
almost the exact
I can
same
kind
thing.
of see
Yeah,
that
it is-
now.
it is
It's almost the
very
exact
similar.
same thing.
Yeah.
It's similar, but that one has different motivations behind it because Batman goes into that fight and the audience knows he's going to lose that fight because he's weak. He's not like Alfred warns him even before the fight. He's like, "You don't know what you're doing. You're not strong anymore like you used to be." And this guy's like obviously way stronger than you. And
They warned T'Challa of that too, though.
no, they
in this
don't.
one.
Everyone
They
thinks
said
that's it.
don't fight him.
No, what? No. Remember, right before the fight starts, his sister's like, "Wow, he's gonna." She says something like, "He's gonna win this easily" or something, and the mother's like, "Yeah, I know," and they're like super confident that he's gonna
Yeah,
win.
okay, I remember that now.
Yeah, I mean, Batman's that one. I don't know. I
And
get
also, I don't understand
Thanks for
what does the Black Panther serum do? Like, it's supposed to make him stronger, but he loses that fight so easily. It's
No,
just like,
no.
what does they even
In
do?
the fight, he drinks
No.
something right
It's-
before that makes him weak. It takes
Weak,
the power
yeah.
away.
It
and
takes
then
the
he
power
has to get
away.
the flower
Okay.
to get it back.
Yeah,
He has to
Okay.
use the flower.
I
to get it.
They wanna
thought
make
that was
they
the
wanna
same
make the fight
thing.
fair.
Okay, I
they
thought that
wanna
was
make
the
the
same
fight
thing. Okay.
No, that's why he like grimaces whenever he drinks it.
Yeah, okay. That makes a lot more
It's
sense
a
now.
very traditional kind of.
I actually
thing
do
with
like
the-
that.
Yeah.
I do like that because, yeah, obviously if he was gonna fight for the kingdom when he has the superpower, I mean he has super strength. It's not fair, really. So I like how they have to make it fair.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
But
but
why,
it
do
seems
you
like
have to, why do you have to take it at the beginning, though?
So you lose your powers.
No, because he didn't have powers at the beginning, did he? Did he?
No, he does. Remember, he's
He
Black
wasn't the
Panther in
king.
Civil
He's
War.
Black Panther.
In Civil
Oh,
War,
that's
he's Black Panther.
Did his dad give him that before, though?
I
Wait,
guess.
so his
I
dad
think so.
and him had powers at the same time?
Yeah, because
What?
that's not supposed to happen. There's only one
No,
Black
because
Panther.
I think it's assumed because the dad's like 80 years old. He's not going to be the Black Panther anymore. So I guess his son is the prince or something.
Well,
the
you
prince.
saw
Because I
before.
think
He doesn't
the
look a
comic-
day over 60.
No, because you first see at first, the character of Black Panther with his dad, and then after his dad died, then he puts on the suit. So I think that was his dad's suit or something like that. So he kind of
Yeah.
like took his armor
And
or
random-
whatever. Yeah.
And random side note: how old do you guys think Chadwick Boseman is?
35?
40?
Okay,
40.
he's 40.
I was thinking 40.
He's
41.
41? What the heck?
Yeah, which is kind of crazy
Dang.
My
because
God.
he looks like he could be like 28.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
that's-
that's what he
that's
does look like.
Wow.
Yeah, because Michael B. Jordan's probably around that age, and they look like the exact same age. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
just crazy to
pretty
me.
good
Chadwick
actors.
Boseman's 41.
Yeah.
Of course, you had to go ruin it by guessing like accurately.
Okay.
I
supposed to
would
guess-
I
oh,
would
you're supposed to be,
assume
like,
male
16?
actors are 10 years. Well, I would assume any actor are to like 10 years older than they are.
Yeah,
Honestly.
I probably should have asked the question differently.
Well, I got one complaint about this film, and I think it's everyone's complaint. There are bad CGI moments in this film, especially in the
Really bad.
climax of it. It was really off-putting when they're fighting each other, and it's like, it was almost
Wait, which
like
part?
early
Train sequence?
2000s CGI. Like it was.
Wait, the train sequence? Which sequence?
Yeah, the train sequence. Yeah,
That
some-
was weird.
yeah, and of course, like
It's weird.
it was a cool shot them looking off at Wakanda, but there's so
Yeah.
much green screen there. I was like,
Yeah,
eh.
it's not good.
No,
It was.
the green
wish they
screen is
would've-
very noticeable. It's not like Justice League bad, but
It's still.
there is like
it's
even when they're
noticeable.
fighting like on the edge of that water thing, when they're fighting the water, the 1v1s, there's certain shots where the background it's really bad. Like it's like really bad. I don't know why
Yeah.
they.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just it's like, and there's
Let's
like
mention it.
certain like establishing shots. I don't even know why they left them in. So it's weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
it looks like Thor, like Asgard. The Asgard shot at the very beginning, except Thor's might look a little bit better. So
the Thor one is better. The Thor one's better.
I wish
Yeah.
they would have kept the CGI a little bit more minimal because
Yeah,
it takes away from like the characters and like the.
It
scenes
takes.
a little
I think
bit.
it takes away from like Black Panther being a little more grounded than other superheroes.
Yeah.
Even
Like those rhinoceros creatures too were very
Oh,
like
God.
bad CGI. I was like,
okay,
It
I
was
like
like-
the idea.
it was a
it was
cool
like George
idea.
Lucas level.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely some overuse of
See,
CGI
and that kind of goes to another point, which the strength of this movie is. You know, the strength of this movie to me is the political aspects of Wakanda. For one instance, it's like there's Blake's dog distracting everyone. No,
Yeah.
the political aspects of Wakanda, like between the varying tribes and that one tribe that like doesn't even care about the rest of them and stuff like that, or like even Black Panther's friend Daniel Kaluuya, who's now Best
Get out.
Picture Best Actor nominated. Good actor. That's a weird sentence.
Best
That's nominated. Actor.
nominated Best Actor. Daniel
Uh,
Kaluuya.
Yeah, but I like his like.
He's
you
in
know,
Sicario also.
Yeah, he is. But
I
And-
rewatched that today, and I was like, "What the heck? I didn't even realize that."
I will talk about that later. But yeah, I like his like how he's actually still in control of his own tribe and whatever, and I don't know. I just like all that. I just like all that stuff because it's a different part of the world we don't get to see in movies very often.
Yeah. Yeah. Overall,
But the third act is kind of a mishmash of just
Yeah.
random stuff.
like it's not bad, but
And-
it's not that great. Like
I think
yeah.
it's. I think the storyline could have been even worse. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think
the
it's kind
story
of
could have been
bland.
worse. Yeah.
It could have been worse, but I think Michael B. Jordan's. I don't know if I'm overrating this performance or not, but I think his charisma just kind of holds it together to where
Yeah.
like
As a
it was
villain,
just-
I really like.
I think
his
he
charisma.
holds together more of it than because of just how likable he is, even as a villain.
Yeah. So, and I love the emotional weight you get from the character, and you actually kind of feel for him and get his point of view, like we were kind of
Yeah.
talking about earlier. So, yeah, he's definitely one of the better villains of the MCU universe, or just the MCU.
I don't know. Let's see. I like
Because-
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Michael
And I-
Keaton, Obadiah Stane, Jeff Bridges. I liked him. Of
Okay.
course, Loki. And
Yeah.
who else am I thinking?
That's it.
I was thinking Red Skull's still better than most, but he just comes off as a world domination villain. But at least,
Well, the Ant-Man villain's really good.
yeah,
No love for Yellow Jacket or whatever that guy's name is.
I'm just kidding.
so generic. Oh my gosh. Don't.
I mean, that's one of my problems with Michael B. Jordan's character. I think that his emotions and stuff like that are varied, and that's what makes him better. But he also is just a carbon copy of Black Panther, like
it's
a
the
lot of
MCU
other Marvel
complaint.
villains.
The MCU complaint it's literally just an evil guy with the same suit or the same powers, and they're fighting each
Yeah.
other. There's so many instances. Iron Man has that. Ant-Man has that.
Yeah,
Now this movie has that, and I'm definitely forgetting some. I mean,
Hulk.
Oh, Hulk. Yeah.
Incredible Hulk has that. I mean, who's the villain in Iron Man 3? Because I feel like there's some version of that in it. Because Iron Man 3 is Iron Man is
Iron
Spider-Man
Man 3
Mandarin,
is Mandarin.
Yeah.
Mandarin.
At least the Mandarin did something different. I didn't like it
He
necessarily,
was-
but
he
at
was
least
the
they
flame
tried
guy.
something. At least they tried something. So I kind of appreciate Iron Man 3 for that.
I like Iron Man 3.
It's decent. I don't think it's as good as some people
That
think.
Iron Man 3 has it's different, but has kind of the same problems as maybe Black Panther has in that it's two different visions competing with each other. It has like the
Yeah.
Marvel formula, but also has
Yeah.
Shane Black's like, Shane Blackness.
Yeah, it tries to be
Shit.
different, which I appreciate, but I didn't necessarily care for
I just
it.
like Iron Man's journey through that movie.
Oh,
I
that's the Shane Black part of it.
I did.
Yeah.
The one aspect I did
Yeah.
like is like he could see that he could still be Iron Man without the suit. I did like that. So,
Yeah, I mean, not every movie's black and white. There's gray parts. You can like stuff and not like stuff in most movies. So
mean, not every movie's perfect like Thor Ragnarok. So
yeah,
it's true.
And Iron Man. Yeah,
Or Wonder Woman.
Iron Man actually is perfect.
yeah, Iron Man, Winter Soldier. Yeah.
I think.
films.
So, do you guys have anything else to say about Black Panther?
I just
say
like that they try to do something different, even though, like we said, it can kind of hold back by your typical Marvel formula. But compared to like most we've had, like over the past 2-3 years, at least it was refreshing, and it felt kind of unique, especially with a lot of the Wakanda sequences. But
It was definitely.
it
let's
was
talk
definitely
about- I think,
fresh. Which
I want to talk about that Wakanda stuff because that's what makes the movie a lot better than the other Marvel movies. Like I just love the lore that they build around Wakanda.
it is so fascinating.
And I
Because it
think,
doesn't feel real, or it feels real that this actually might exist. Like you
Yeah,
can see it. Maybe,
I love.
but
Oh man, I didn't bring this up earlier, but I wish they'd actually even gone more into the tech stuff with Wakanda, because there's this shot where I think he's on the ship at the very beginning, the first action scene, and they're showing like the cars in that. You remember it's like a hologram. It's not a hologram because it's physical, but they're showing the cars like what their cars actually look like on the ground. You know what I'm talking about? And I was like, and they don't even mention it. It's just like a kind of a side thing. I was like, that's so cool. Like they're actually showing what the cars are doing physically, and then
yeah.
do we want to talk about Martin Freeman too a little bit since we haven't even touched on him?
Yes. I'm glad he got more
This
screen
guy-
time. Got some screen time in this film. 'Cause he's,
he's so funny as like
he's such a good actor.
like
He's
the
just-
one
I
white
love Martin
guy
Freeman.
that's like like he's just like, what is all this? Like what is going on right now? Especially when he's like when they're meeting that big tribal boss guy when they need his help, and he's just
Yeah.
like standing there, like it's so fun. Like
And then
they
he
all
starts
feel-
talking. They start
Yeah, and they're
talking.
like,
He's
no,
like,
you're not. He's like,
you don't talk.
you're not allowed to talk.
Or like start doing
And
a
he's-
ooh, 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 or whatever stuff whenever he starts talking.
No,
They
it's
just kept
like,
going at it.
and like when he like kneels, like it's just like so funny to watch him doing stuff like the other people seem natural doing, and he's just like
yeah.
kneeling and then like stands up when he like I don't know.
He was a good supporting side character in the film. Like
Yeah.
he was really well done. I just
And,
love Martin Freeman's
the best side character-
expressions. They're just hilarious.
I think the best side character is still his main security guard. I can't
his
I'm
main
trying-
security. She's really
Okoye.
good.
Okoye, I
Okoye.
think. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really like her.
Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
His sister's
it?
also pretty solid.
Yeah, she's funny. She's in a Black Mirror episode. She's in Black Museum.
Black.
I haven't seen that one.
I need to watch that show.
Did you recognize her?
Yeah. The last one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think she's good too. The cast is great all around. Even Forrest Whitaker doing his little thing. He's doing
They're-
Forrest Whitaker thing.
They gotta get some older guy in there, so let's just get Forrest Whitaker in this film.
I do kind of wish that they would have ended the movie where that extra credit scene, the first extra credit scene started. I wish they would have ended the movie and kind of like gone with like what they had to show. What'd you say?
What is the first extra credit scene?
Whenever they're like, what does Wakanda have to offer to the rest of the world? I wish they would have actually shown them and just to have the satisfaction of seeing everyone's faces, but they leave it up to the imagination.
Yeah.
Or I think maybe we might get that in Infinity War or something.
Never know. And then they show Bucky also.
Marvel likes that press conference thing.
They really do like that press conference thing.
Oh yeah.
I'm
It kind of reminds me. It reminds me. Weird side note in Community where they always like call press conferences and like, why are people even at this press conference? And like a community college press conference, there's like a ton of people there. Just random thing about Community. It's super funny.
Spider-Man,
And it connects
Iron Man.
because Russo brothers.
Okay.
Okay. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something I forgot. Maybe I'll remember it. So any last Black Panther?
I liked how they actually killed Killmonger.
Yeah.
Like
me
they
too.
actually killed.
It was
And his
almost,
line
it was a
at the
nice
end.
death too.
The way he
I like
dies
that.
is unique too.
Yeah.
I like his line at
It
the
was
end.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like what he says at the end too, even though I don't know. I like that. I just like what he said.
It felt
so.
kind of forced, but I get what he was saying.
And that was
Like
one
with the
of
whole
best shots,
bondage
dude.
thing, like I'd rather die in the sea, making referring to like the slavery
Slavery.
thing. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
I think
it was
that's
forced,
and
but it didn't bother me too much.
I don't think it's forced. I think that goes with this character. What he's fighting for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Okay. now
Technically,
I see
he's a real Black Panther,
What do you mean?
like the militant kind.
Oh yeah.
And that's that's probably the best shot in the movie. Whenever they're both kneeling there.
Yeah.
the
Despite that
sunset.
weird screen
Yeah.
with close-ups, like that was a nice shot.
There's an emotional moment where they actually, because remember earlier he's talking about how he wanted to see how beautiful Wakanda is and during
Yeah.
the sunset.
Yeah.
And he actually lets him see it at the very end. I really like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, T'Challa didn't really harbor much ill will towards him because it was his father's fault of what happened to him, so he kind of felt
Yeah.
responsible
Yeah.
in a
And
way.
I like how T'Challa realizes towards the end, and he actually says it like Killmonger's right to a degree, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
they
his
should
father.
stay hidden.
Yeah. And what else about
That's
that?
what he says. That's what he says to his father. You were wrong.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good moment. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the point I wanted to talk about. I guess to end it. Ryan Coogler. I haven't seen Fruitvale Station or Creed, and I really
Fruitvale
need to
Station's
now.
great.
But it's very obvious that Ryan Coogler cares about character aspects of instead of like. It's just very obvious he cares more about the character building and stuff, and I think that's the best stuff of this movie, along with the political stuff, like what you were saying, like Black Panther confronting his dad, or Killmonger's motivations are very clear, and I just think that's the best parts of the movies, and I hope he gets to do it more in the sequels, the sequel that we'll get.
Movie sequel.
Well, you should
And I
watch.
hope-
You should watch Fruitvale Station because that one's it's a lot better
The
than
only
Black
reason I
Panther.
haven't seen it because it looks super sad. It looks super depressing.
It is really sad, but
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the only reason I
yeah.
haven't seen it. But
But Michael B. Jordan's really great in that movie. I mean, like
Yeah.
him and Coogler have a thing together.
yeah, all of Coogler's movies, Michael B. Jordan's in.
He's the star of all three, or I guess he's not technically the star in Black Panther, but he has a lot.
He's basically the star of Black Panther.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
He basically is. I think he's my favorite
He's
part.
the real star.
Yeah.
All of the actors are great though in the movie. So
Oh yeah.
And I hope,
love the cast.
I think they'll learn. I hope this goes like Captain America route where, I mean, the first Avengers is a pretty good movie, but I think Winter Soldier, they really play to the strengths of Captain America.
Yeah.
And what they took kind of a boring character and made him really cool. So, and Black Panther's not boring, so I'm not saying that, but I think they can play to his strengths in the sequel.
Yeah, because it's like, because they kind of like set him up in like the first Captain America, and then like, and it was pretty okay. Like I liked it.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, the sequel was just like hands down like a huge step up, and I'm hoping like Black Panther will do that. Like it sets up the world, the characters, and all that, and then the sequel it gets deeper into the story, and the character himself and such, and plus.
well, I'm just hoping that goes away from the Marvel formula because their best
Yeah.
movies are like Thor Ragnarok and Winter Soldier because they're not really superhero movies. Like Thor's a comedy action movie, and then Winter Soldier is a spy movie. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they can go into the political aspects more,
political,
something like that.
definitely.
Yeah, more genre like that, and because now Marvel knows they definitely have the audience for it.
Oh yeah.
And if this movie made what 196? Is that what we said? 196 opening weekend.
192 is what.
192.
192
Okay.
is up.
192.
So it succeeds financially.
Sequels
but-
usually make more,
okay.
so man, I can't imagine. They have the audience,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
maybe they'll take more risks with it now.
Mhm.
But I think I kind of compare it to Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman has, I think it has more of a high points in it. Like the No Man's Land sequence in Wonder Woman, I don't think there's a Black Panther sequence I would
No, there isn't.
think is as good as that. But I think Black Panther's more consistent than Wonder Woman is. The third act and everything.
Yeah.
But I think they're both. Well, first of all, I think in terms of film history or whatever you want to say about it, Wonder Woman being a female superhero movie, and Black Panther being. I know we have Blade and other. I know there's other black superhero movies before this, but this one actually means something. Hancock, but this one actually means more than those because it's actually part of the cinematic universe, and superhero movies are actually
it's
relevant.
part of a successful superhero universe.
Well, Blade was successful. It got 3 movies, but
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
Yeah.
Del
but
Toro
that
did
wasn't
one-
like superhero movies weren't what they are
Yeah, yeah.
now. So if we can just go into our final thoughts.
I hope that this will help them do a live action Miles Morales Spider-Man movie eventually.
Well, we're getting the animated one this year, and that looks super.
I know, but I want a live action one too. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Because I think he's better
Maybe
than
they'll-
Peter Parker, personally.
Maybe they'll go to that point because
Eventually.
they're going to go to their Phase 4, Phase 5 of Marvel, whatever
Yeah.
they're in now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
who knows? Ah, jeez.
But we should probably go to final thoughts now.
Okay.
And give your rating too.
Yeah. I guess I'll go first. Unless
Okay.
if you guys want to, I don't care.
You can go.
Okay. Well, overall, it kind of lived up to the hype. I would say critics really overhyped this movie, and so I don't necessarily agree with the ratings. But that does not mean that I think the movie's bad at all. I think it's a good movie. It's solid. It's got its problems, but overall, I like how fresh and unique it felt for the most part, and I love the cast, and I like the storyline for the most part, and I think there were a few action scenes, even though none of them really stand out. There's probably a couple that did, like the tribal, traditional ceremony fights, duels, and I thought the casino sequence was pretty awesome, and this car chase scene was pretty awesome too. But yeah, it's got problems of overused CGI. There's and some plot issues as well. I'm thinking about it, but overall, it's getting me excited for Infinity War now. That's all I can say. So, but yeah, it's a good movie. Go see it. It's very entertaining. Everyone will have a fun time with it, and it's if you love superheroes, you love Marvel, just go and see it, obviously. So yeah. I give it.
What was your rating?
I give it 4 stars.
Richie, you want to go?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. For the most part, I think it, compared to other Marvel movies, it's really entertaining throughout. Like, it doesn't drag in any part, so that's to its credit. But also, I don't think I think that they didn't really nail the ending, and the big action scenes that should deliver didn't deliver completely. So I would go with a 4.
I think this movie's solid also. I think it's just a little bit too. I think it has a little bit too much Marvel in it for it to be a masterpiece. Whereas if it was just Coogler's vision, it would make a perfect superhero movie. Because this might be one of the most well written Marvel movies in terms of the way it flows, like Richie said, where there's not really any down points in the story.
Yeah.
It's just like a solid line that has spikes in it every once in a while. But it's just a little bit too. I don't know. It's just.
Okay, to
A
be
little bit
fair,
too
I don't think
Marvel-y.
Marvel has a masterpiece
No.
in general.
No, I don't know if I'd say it.
None of them.
I
don't
think
Marvel-
Iron Man. I think Iron Man's probably the closest to a masterpiece.
No.
No.
Iron Man.
If
is-
anything, it's Ragnarok or Winter Soldier.
and Iron Man. Those.
Well, the thing
I
is,
think Iron Man is up.
I think
Marvel's,
those 3 films for me it did.
Marvel's source material is way too like goofy.
Okay, that's not.
The only
that's
superhero
why-
masterpiece is The Dark Knight, and that's because it's so dark.
I think Logan is the second closest.
Yeah. Yeah, those because
Yeah,
those
exactly,
two really
yeah.
break out of their genre. So
Yeah.
But that's what we're saying. We want a Marvel movie, and Winter Soldier broke out of its. I think Winter
it's genre
Soldier.
it broke out for the most part.
It just. I don't know. Maybe there's some bias in terms of like masterpiece equating to darkness, because I don't know, because like some people would I don't know. I guess it's your opinion on what a masterpiece is in the first place, because
Yeah,
some
that's
people love Guardians of the Galaxy like a lot. So
That might be a masterpiece.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but to each his own.
To each
But
his
I
own.
guess that's what popped in the first place.
I don't think any movie that has Shield in it can be a masterpiece.
I think it's not. We
Like,
gotta
that
give it
whole,
time.
like-
Even with, shut up. Even with Logan, we still have to give it time. I think Dark Knight has stood the test of time long enough, and it's
Definitely.
very obvious how much it's held up. It just takes time to determine masterpiece.
But I don't
so-
even. That's also the thing. Like I don't think Black Panther could be a masterpiece because it's not going to hold up. The CGI will not hold up. That's the fact.
I mean,
that is a fact.
Whereas
That's-
Logan,
some people
I
consider
mean
Jaws
Logan
a
and
masterpiece.
Dark Knight. Okay, calm down. There's no CGI in Jaws.
Yeah, but the effects are bad. That's different.
The effects aren't even bad. Okay, we're not getting into this. We'll do a Jaws podcast where you can spread your hate.
What about
I'm giving it a
Matrix?
3.5.
You know, like what I'm saying.
Matrix has some spotty stuff at times.
Like the CGI.
No, the Matrix is there's hardly any CGI in Matrix.
Are you kidding?
Star
me?
Wars has bad CGI.
Well, the
Well,
last two did.
that's true, but
Yoda.
it's still a masterpiece. Yoda.
Yoda's a puppet. It's not
Spinning
special. It's a
the
puppet.
prequel Yoda spinning around with a lightsaber
Oh,
against
no.
an old man.
Oh
But
yeah.
okay, we should get back on track.
Sorry.
Um,
Sorry.
So Blake, what was your rating then? You
My
never gave
rating was 3.5.
it. Okay, that's too low. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care.
That's a solid movie.
I think it is a 3.5 to 4 around there because, and I'm gonna give it a 4 just because of. I'm so glad they introduced something different in terms of an African American cast, and I don't know, and it obviously means a ton to a lot of people. I mean, none of us are black, so I mean, we probably don't have the experience what a lot of black people will have. Watching a superhero this cool on screen with his own movie, but I'd probably, that's why I'm gonna go to 4 because, and not just because of that, but because of the interesting aspects that play to that in this movie. It doesn't shy away from it, it actually embraces it, and that's the best parts of this movie too. With if you're just talking about the scenes in Africa with Wakanda or with Killmonger's motivations, both of those I think are the strengths of the movie, and I think it is an entertaining movie all around. It just some of the Marvel stuff
Yeah,
uh,
I agree.
is the reason I would put it lower than maybe some others. And Weston was saying critics overrated it, but the Rotten Tomatoes score is 97%, but the average rating is 8.2. So I mean that gives it around a 4.
Oh,
Anyway.
okay. I mean,
So-
again, Rotten Tomatoes, it's like they probably gave it like a 7 or an 8. That doesn't mean they're like all 10s. So
Yeah.
it doesn't work like that. So yeah, okay.
Yeah,
That's
a lot of people
good
get
point.
confused. They're like 97% doesn't deserve it, but like if you think it's a movie worth going seeing, you think it deserves 100% Rotten Tomatoes. That's what people don't understand, really. So
What did Thor Ragnarok get though?
it's probably
Not
less
that
than
high.
that.
Yeah, not that high.
I'm gonna guess in the 80s, but I'm gonna look right now.
Yeah.
Did you see that new Samson movie has like a 27% Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, just let me know.
Wait,
and oh my God.
27%? Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm
No,
not
I can't
surprised.
wait. Early man, no one, and I don't know why they released this on Black Panther weekend. Oh, Thor Ragnarok's 92%, but its average
Nice.
rating is 7.5 out of 10. So.
Too low.
But Early Man, Early Man is the people that made like Wallace and Gromit, and like those. It's like the British animation group or whatever, and those movies are funny. I don't know why they released that, or
Yeah, I don't know why either.
but I am really excited to see it because it's that
It's not Malco.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to take the route. 81% Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good for an animated movie. So yeah, but 4 for me. So what is that average rating? It's probably like a
3.9.
3.8 something. 3.9.
3.9.
Okay.
I averaged out, so rounded up.
Any last thoughts? I think that's good.
No.
What are you looking at, Weston? Oh, okay.
I'll just put it in my review. So on
Okay.
Letterboxd. So yeah, go and see it.
Cool.
It's worth your time. You'll have fun.
It lives up to the hype if the hype is you want a good movie.
Oh yeah, if you want a good movie, yeah, you'll get it.
But I think the sequel will be better if they play to what the strengths of it.
There's a lot of potential for the sequel to be much better.
Yeah.
And possibly be like, Civil War level. Or not Civil War, Winter Soldier level.
Soldier level.
I do love Civil War too, though, but that's my opinion.
Cool. All right, you want to close this out, someone?
Well, you can find us on iTunes at, Dumb People vs. Movies, I guess. And we're on Twitter, Facebook, right? YouTube, Dumb People vs. Movies. And
Letterboxd.
We're on Letterboxd and Instagram at Dumb People vs. Movies. And, yeah, give us a review, rate us. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. We're going to post more videos this time around. So we're going to keep this
We
up.
already have 2 up, so...
Yeah, which is what? Shape of Water and Paris
1517
film, whatever
Paris.
that's called. Yeah,
That's a fun... that you guys should listen to that if you haven't. That's a really fun episode.
I want to hear it. I've heard it's pretty bad, but yeah. but
Clint Eastwood directed.
Hey, man.
even though it did,
Don't hate.
Letters still was so good. So I'm actually surprised he made a really bad movie like that. Oh,
It's his first really bad movie, so...
yeah.
We can give it to him. He's like 90, so...
Some directors got to make a bad film, I guess. At least once.
But all right, until next time.
Yeah.
Close that, Weston.
He already did.
What do you usually say at the end?
Tetsuo?
No.
No, that's what I...
Wakanda or something.
No,
I don't know. Wait, what?
when you say have a good day.
Oh yeah, and have a good.
Okay, that's all you just
You're
cut it off
supposed to
there.
finish it off. Yeah, never mind.
No,
Day.
just cut it off there.
Day.
Okay. All right.
What?
Have a good night, y'all.